A smiling face in a picture is something we really are used to. But when I see a smiling face in a painting, it can be very frightening because it looks strange. Certainly when the painting is painted from a picture. And the reason is in the picture, the difference between a picture and a painting. When you are painting someone, you take the time, you take a day, or another painter takes perhaps 3 or 4 days to paint someone. And it would be very frightening when the model keeps on smiling 4 days for a painter. So a smiling face in a painting is a difficult thing. It's not always a naturally thing. And when you are making portraits of children, the clients always ask you if it's possible to paint the model smiling. Because in a picture we are really used to see this, because a picture only takes less than 1 second to take. But when you paint this subject, the expectation is different. It looks, in my opinion, really frightening. I like to paint humans. I like to look at humans. Certainly humans doing their thing. So I use them in my paintings of cityscapes, scenes in the street. And for portraits, children portraits, it's very important to talk about this before I start. I know those kind of children portraits where you see only the head smiling, sitting still in a chair. They are mostly painted from a picture, but for me this is not a child. This is a kind of ID made by adults. A child never sits hours after hours on a chair laughing or smiling. So I like to paint them in the most natural way I can find, and that is when they are playing or doing something. And I've been working now on a series of portraits for a client here in this town, and these portraits were quite small. Their faces were the same size as my thumb. So there wasn't actually a chance to work those faces out in details. So the thing I was looking for was the way these children were playing, moving, standing or sitting. And of course I use my pictures. I got my camera with me. But I really take care for not making paintings from the pictures, because they will never be as good as the picture. I think you should always use your pictures, but not painting the pictures, and that's an important difference. So when you want to make a painting from a human, I think when the human is not in your studio at that moment, you should just remember him or her and remember what the most important thing was about her or him. And I always keep on working with this memory, and then I can use the pictures for the start or for some details in the clothing or whatever. I took these pictures from these children on a sunny day in the garden of their grandparents. And the youngest one was really shy or even scared of me. So the first sketch I made of her, I was really happy with it because I saw a shy and quite scared girl who was not looking at me but looking to the ground. But when their grandparents saw this one, they were not that happy because they know her as a very happy girl, but she didn't show me that much, this character. Her older sister was climbing in a swing set in the garden. And I liked that subject for a painting, just to take the time for her younger sister to feel more comfortable. I asked the older one, could you climb one more time for me in this swing set? And she said, well, yes, I will do that. And the funny thing of children is that I do this so naturally. So they're not acting for you. And that's something we adults have lost, I think, to be a model without acting ourselves, acting who we are. That's the strength of a child when it's your model for a painting. It is totally real. Most of the portraits I did before were made in oil paint. Oil paint is easy to work out in details, even when the size is small. So I was expecting from myself to do these portraits in oil paint as well. But I made the sketches in watercolor because the garden where I took the pictures was so sunny and the light was so hard. And that's a kind of effect you can reach in the watercolor because it is transparent and you can work in layers, and the white paper is shining through all these pigments, and that's an effect I really like to show in colors. And when I came back here in the morning the next day and I saw these sketches, I thought, well, these are perfect, quite good in the light and in the contrast. I had already put some dark purple color on canvases to paint these girls on the canvas, but I decided to do it in watercolor.